It's 3 a.m. Your body is physically exhausted, but your mind is running a high-speed simulation. You are replaying a conversation from 5 years ago, or projecting a catastrophic scenario that hasn't even happened. You probably think this is a flaw, a sign of anxiety, or a lack of discipline. But what if your brain isn't broken at all? What if it is desperately trying to solve a puzzle to keep you safe? Tonight, we decode the biological mechanics of overthinking and look at the only proven way to collapse the loop. You are lying in the dark. The shadows from the winter trees outside remain perfectly still against the wall. The house is completely quiet. Logically, this should be the easiest thing in the world. You simply close your eyes, let gravity do its work, and allow the system to gently power down. But instead of rest, you feel it. A subtle, creeping mental friction. A phantom itch of thought that refuses to be ignored, pulling you further away from the threshold of sleep. You are experiencing rumination, not merely as an abstract psychological concept, but as a deeply physical, physiological event. The body is desperately signaling for rest, practically begging for recovery, yet the brain continues to accelerate. It is generating a complex, looping architecture of unresolved problems, playing out dialogue that will never be spoken. Eventually, the physical stillness in the bed becomes intolerable. You surrender. You move across the cold floor to the desk. You turn on the lamp, isolating yourself in a harsh halo of warm amber light, hoping that a change of scenery or a physical shift might somehow break the cycle. But the thoughts do not stop. Instead, they begin to compound. They expand, folding outward upon themselves like an intricate, jagged paper labyrinth, slowly taking up all the available space in the room. Every scenario you simulate, every alternate ending to a conversation you draft, and every imaginary conflict you resolve requires actual biological capacity. Your working memory is fundamentally designed to hold only a highly limited amount of active information at one time. As you stack future projections on top of past regrets, your cognitive load quickly reaches its maximum density. The labyrinth grows taller. You are effectively forcing the system to run highly demanding, intensive software without plugging it into a power source. This massive, unseen expenditure of energy inevitably leads to a state of executive fatigue. The prefrontal cortex, the specialized part of your brain responsible for rational control, the part that should be able to say, "We do not need to think about this right now," simply runs out of metabolic resources. You gradually lose the ability to regulate your own attention. You become a paralyzed observer, trapped inside the very maze you are building. At this peak level of saturation, the physical consequences become entirely undeniable. You are sitting perfectly still in a quiet, objectively safe room when you lie down in the dark and the external sensory input of the waking world drops to nearly zero. Your brain does not just switch off like a computer. Instead, a specific, highly connected web of brain regions powers up. This network is known in neuroscience as the default mode network, or the DMN. The DMN is the neurological system primarily responsible for self-referential thought, daydreaming, and mental time travel. It is the system that allows you to construct a coherent sense of self by continuously analyzing your past history and anticipating your future trajectory. Simultaneously, your brain operates on a foundational principle called predictive processing. It is, at its core, an organic prediction engine, constantly attempting to model the future in order to minimize uncertainty, surprise, and potential danger. It fundamentally hates the unknown. So, put these two powerful systems together in a dark, silent room. The DMN is highly active, scanning your history for unresolved social or personal data. The predictive engine is actively starved for new external sensory input. Lacking real-world, tangible data to process, the brain begins generating its own. It runs complex simulations. It obsessively attempts to close open loops. This is not self-sabotage. It is, in fact, a deeply misguided biological defense mechanism. Your brain is desperately searching for a baseline of neurological safety. It truly believes that if it can just solve this 5-year-old social puzzle, or accurately predict every variable of a disaster that might happen next month, it can finally guarantee your survival. It overthinks because it is trying to protect you. Understanding this mechanism provides a profound, immediate shift in perspective. The heavy burden of shame begins to dissipate. You aren't undisciplined, broken, or inherently flawed. Your prediction engine is simply stuck in high gear without a map to guide it. So, how exactly do we disarm a powerful defense mechanism that is only trying to keep us safe? We don't fight it. We don't issue commands to the brain to just stop thinking. That only adds more friction to the system. Instead, we offer the brain a quiet, low-effort off-ramp. We utilize a highly effective, evidence-based mechanism known as cognitive offloading. By taking a simple pencil and physically writing the circulating thoughts down onto a piece of paper, you alter the information processing requirements. You are essentially externalizing the raw data. When you write it down, you send a physical, sensory confirmation signal back to the brain. This information is now securely stored outside the body. It does not need to be actively maintained, managed, or simulated anymore. Externalizing your thoughts onto paper gives your working memory permission to drop the active file. It collapses the labyrinth for tonight. But what happens tomorrow morning when the alarm goes off and the sheer weight of starting your day feels paralyzing? That isn't laziness either. It's an entirely different biological friction, and we decode exactly how it works in this video right here. I'll see you on the next shift.